which neither the nature nor the cause could be explained. Today it appeared over America. 48 hours afterwards, it was over Europe. A week later, it was in Asia, over the Celestial Empire. Hence, in every country of the world, empire, kingdom, or republic, there was anxiety which it was important to allay. If you hear in your house strange and inexplicable noises, do you not at once endeavour to discover the cause? And if your search is in vain, do you not leave your house and take up your quarters in another? But in this case, the house was the terrestrial globe. There are no means of leaving that house for the moon or Mars or Venus or Jupiter or any other planet of the solar system. And so, of necessity, we have to find out what it is that takes place, not in the infinitive void, but within the atmospherical zones. In fact, if there is no air, there is no noise. And as there was a noise, that famous trumpet, to wit, the phenomenon must occur in the air, the density of which invariably diminishes and which does not extend for more than 6 miles round our spheroid. Naturally, the newspapers took up the question in their thousands, and treated it in every form, throwing on it both light and darkness, recording many things about it, true or false, alarming and tranquilizing their readers, as the sale required, and almost driving ordinary people mad. At one blow, party politics dropped unheeded, and the affairs of the world went on none the worse for it. But what could this thing be? There was not an observatory that was not applied to. If an observatory could not give a satisfactory answer, what was the use of observatories? If astronomers who doubled and tripled the stars 100,000 million miles away could not explain a phenomenon occurring only a few miles off, what was the use of astronomers? The observatory at Paris was very guarded in what it said. In the mathematical section, they had not thought the statement worth noticing. In the meridional section, they knew nothing about it. In the physical observatory, they had not come across it. In the geodetic section, they had had no observation. In the meteorological section, there had been no record. In the calculating room, they had had nothing to deal with. At any rate, this confession was a frank one, and the same frankness characterized the replies from the observatory of Montcerise and the magnetic station of the park of Saint-Maur. The same respect for the truth distinguished the Bureau des Longitudes. The provinces were slightly more affirmative. Perhaps in the night of the 5th and the morning of the 6th of May there had appeared a flash of light of electrical origin which lasted about 20 seconds. At the Pic du Midi, this light appeared between 9 and 10 in the evening. At the Meteorological Observatory on the Puy de Dôme, the light had been observed between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. At Mont Ventoux, in Provence, it had been seen between 2 and 3 o'clock. At Nice, it had been noticed between 3 and 4 o'clock, while at the Semnoz Alps between Annecy, Le Bourget, and Le Liman, it had been detected just as the zenith was paling with the dawn. Now, it evidently would not do to disregard those observations altogether. There could be no doubt that a light had been observed at different places, in succession, at intervals, during some hours. Hence, whether it had been produced from many centres in the terrestrial atmosphere or from one centre, it was plain that the light must have travelled at a speed of over 120 miles an hour. In the United Kingdom, there was much perplexity. The observatories were not in agreement. Greenwich would not consent to the proposition of Oxford.